Welcome back, everybody. It's Creative Redundancy back again, the one known as CR. I thought I set this up for horizontal, but whatever. It's only a portrait, vertical stream, whatever. So, anyways, hopefully everyone's doing well on this Sunday. The date or the time of this recording this stream while I wait for some people to drop in here. Once I just tidy up here. It's nice and sunny here. Nice fluffy clouds in the sky. Just randomly. Wind's kind of calm. It's nice and sunny. I'm like, yes, it's finally getting warmer. It's finally getting warmer. There's also some videos related to that later this month. So I keep adding that content in. Because obviously I couldn't record it like last month, technically. Because I had to actually wait for it to like warm up and the snow to melt. But it's looking very nice outside, though, at least. So, the benefits of actually like spring coming around the corner. And of course, Good Friday, and we got Easter Sunday, Monday next weekend. End of next weekend, so. It's starting to look a lot nicer outside. At least temperature-wise. It's very, how do I say, more seasonal. Definitely more seasonal. And slightly above seasonal, too. I'm like, yes! And the trend has been lingering around for a while, which has been very, very nice. Speak of which, I gotta water this one thing here. What's up, Joseph? Nice to see you, man. How are you doing? Just watering something real quick here. So it's kind of dry. So I'll add some moisture in there. It's in the sun too, so. Oh, shoot. I'll show you guys. Oops. See? It's in the sun, so I have to water it. You're watering the pool. That's something I don't hear on the day-to-day basis. What are you doing today? Just watering the pool. Nonchalantly. So yeah, I'm just tidying things up, trying to get back in the groove of things. When I say the groove, I mean like spring. That's the kind of groove I want to get back into a little bit more, as much as I can. But first, I gotta make some room for some stuff, including some seeds. Can't wait. Yeah. I gathered that, Mr. Moore. You're getting the pool ready to open. But of course, you gotta fill it up, right? It's not much of a pool without water, right? And speak of water, you'll see something next weekend. Is it next weekend? I gotta remember Taste of 13. Oh, not this coming up week, but the week following. You'll see something. You'll see something on Tuesday. Oh, did I just say that? I did. You'll have to wait for that, though. Because actually, I have a special video for that week. Very special, indeed. Hello, Sunflower. How are you doing? Oh, yeah. I gotta remember I can. See. Highlight that on the screen. Sunflowers here, everyone. So hopefully you guys are all doing well, like I said. I'll probably make some coffee here soon. My cup's kind of like, I can almost see the bottom. I think it's time for more coffee. As I rinse this container here, it's just got some water in it. I'm just rinsing it out. I just used some rainwater, some gray water for it. So, rinse this out. So, anyways. So, like I said, next week, this coming week, but the following week, there'll be a special video on Tuesday. I've already well, it's already obviously scheduled, but I've had it since like the beginning of the month. Or the end of last month. So, as I've been working on the content here and squeezing in some videos into the schedule, then I couldn't record until like now. Because I can speed up Mother Nature's or the springtime, fall, or the winter fall, whatever you want to call it. I had to wait for that, so. I was like, oh, thank goodness I decided to like record some videos like weeks, days, even months in advance and just get them out. I always rechange the schedule anyways, depending on what's going on and what I have scheduled in as the mix of videos, quote unquote, the playlist of stuff. What's up, Lee? Anfield Road layout in train. How's it going, man? Hopefully you're doing well. Speak of which, probably should get some water out. Heat up some water for some coffee. Pour the water! I'll heat it up in a moment here. So, yes, I'm just tidying things up here. Making sure that I actually have the space to work and do these projects that I have in the works. There's a couple of projects that, well, I won't be starting until like the fall time because right now there's a lot on my plate. Actually, Sunflower is familiar with it. I've mentioned it to them, but you know, just some projects I have in the works. Although right now the priority for me is to like be outside amongst some other things. Such as this. Or that. Or this. Let's see. Look, Italian flowers. Hi. Hey, let me just look at that wave. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Things are going so. Iron flowers, yes. Well, you're doing well too. How's it going over there for you? Snow has melted over there by now, right? I'm assuming it's supposed to be relatively warm for most of Canada right now, so most, if not all, the snow would have melted. Maybe in low-lying, north-facing, in the shade areas might still have some, but generally, probably in the sun, south-facing side, roofs and stuff like that, it's probably gone. The temperature should have. I'm pretty sure, even though it used to a certain degree, the temperature's not that cold. Yes. So, on this thing. Finish off my coffee here. Heat up some water in a little bit here. Yeah, I'll heat up the water at the top tower. Yeah, so I'm trying to actually rearrange some stuff. Among some other things I have laying around. Get things back into an order that I would like. Maybe a little bit more organized too. While I'm doing it. What's this say? Nah, it's nothing. I'm sure I'll deal with that paper afterwards among some other things I have laying around at times. Yeah, I knew it. It's 13 Celsius in there. That's about 53, 54 Fahrenheit for you guys in the US. Yeah, I couldn't figure. That double digits are above 50 Fahrenheit for you folks in the US. Yeah, it starts to melt considerably faster, especially if there's sun hitting it. Or there's things on the surface that are darker, so it's not just pure white snow. Oh, hello, Uncle Al, I see you in there. Yeah, I heard about that. Iron Firewars. Yeah, I kind of figured. That kind of stuff, they got to clear off the road first, right? So, aerial things are secondary still, right? There's still primary objectives that have to be done first. Nice to see you all. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Actually, I'll just put that on the screen for a moment here. So yeah, I heard about all that stuff. So many trees lost. Yeah, I kind of figured. I know. Some of the channels I follow, and they follow me too. They were mentioning things out east and all that stuff. They're doing their own kind of vlog type of thing about it, and kind of saying it as it is. In search of this or that. And they're kind of vlog about it. You just see ice everywhere, right? Among some other things, right? And they try to source out some resources. They need to keep going and all that stuff, right? Whoa, look at this. It's PV. It's this guy right here, man. This guy right here. Right here. Is it still? Okay, okay. I mean, I knew it when it's not gonna be that 72-hour window, right? That 3-day window. I mean, I keep hearing about this. I know some of the channels have mentioned it. There's supposed to be something out in Europe talking about this and all that stuff. I'm like, 72 hours, 3 days. It's just a mere drop in the bucket in terms of preparedness, right? Still better than nothing, but, or a good maybe a start, but you know, also you like like anything, right? Just having, you know, an eighth a tank of gas is one thing, but you probably want to put a little bit more into it, you know, so you can get a little bit or go more with it, or further the distance, or travel more with it. I guess, right? I guess I'm using that as a metaphor. Yeah. Okay, PV. You wonder if it would be safe to go hiking in the bush now? Well, take a look. Or at least scout it out on the outside and just take a look. I mean, there's pretty sure there's no leaves on the trees yet, so should be able to see what's either down or further away or something like that. And just take a look before you enter and stuff like that. But yeah, I know everyone was talking about down trees and all that stuff. I saw the videos and the images out there, and from other people too that I associate with here on the channel, and you know, they released their own content about it and stuff like that, and talking about it and stuff like that. I haven't looked back into it since like Wednesday or Thursday, so it's been a little bit, but because I'm trying to focus on what I'm doing here too, you know. You know, but I did give them some of my time. Hear them out, right? I still gotta focus on what I can do here, right? Okay, PV. So yeah. Ooh, I want to show you guys something. Hold on, let me bring up my camera here. Look. I know. It's actually got pages in it. I even got my own personal little bookmark on it right now. This is actually something I actually, well, acquired. There'll probably be another video on it. So I've been reading up on it. This is old, actually. This is like 50 years old. It's over 50 years old. No, that is it. Yeah, 50. Yeah. It's over 50 years old. Yeah, so it's okay, Iron Fire. So I'll still probably show this later. I just wanted to show you guys real quick that. You know, you've been training them into using how to use the tea light candles. Okay. I mean, I probably could figure out what they're talking about. Their uncle probably gets. Let's see. The trees in your neighborhood are all lost all their limbs and they are dangling off our trees. It's a mess. Can't imagine what it would be like in a forest. Yeah. Well, true. I guess it probably would just like in any forest or something similar to that, you probably look up and be like, is there any of those widowmakers out there? Or something that could poke your eye? Right? You know? Maybe wear some sunglasses at the least. Just in case. And just take a look up high, right? And obviously, you're going to be doing this during the day. I don't see you doing this at night or in the evening. Probably during the day, where you can actually see everything. Cool. Oh no, PV. It's been quite. And yesterday was a little breezy, but aside from that, I mean, the tree trunks are moving. I can see them, so there is some breeze, and the nice fluffy white clouds are slowly going by from like a west to east pattern. I think they're not moving that fast, but I could definitely see the treetops moving. So they're swinging a little. It's probably like a mild breeze. I wouldn't even call it a fresh breeze. It's probably like a 2 or a 30 at most on that wind scale. Yeah. I would assume so. Yeah. Yeah, May is coming around the corner. I'm 5 horse rain. There's only, just over 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Because May 1st is on a Thursday. And then May 2nd, I'll have a video on that day. Which one? Let's see. I already have one scheduled. Because technically, I actually have videos for this rest of this month and for next month, technically. They're scheduled in. And this is actually before any of this gardening stuff makes an appearance, so. When I've been telling people I'm working on June videos, I am trying to work on June videos. It's more like working on like springtime videos. Because I have some other videos in the mix that are not seasonally dependent, so I can always delay them if I need to, or fill in like a blank spot on the weekly schedule. So I was kind of glad that I decided to record them sooner. Because there is another video that I'm working on that may make another appearance, but it takes a while for me to set it up. At least in the way that I want to show it anyway, so. It's nothing I can do in one day. This is like a multi-day, multi-week type of video. So it takes time for me to show it. At least the way I want to show it. So. Because I actually have to wait for it. I can't speed up real time in the real world. Alright, I can't speed up gardening or warmth in real time here. So I gotta wait, and because I gotta wait, I needed the videos in advance, so I at least would have some content in the meantime while I'm waiting for the conditions to warm up. Waiting for the stuff to grow, waiting for the rains to come, waiting for the sun to make an appearance day after day after day, and maybe some clouds will drop some rain out there for me, and I'll be able to recover some rainwater to use for later on. Okay, Uncle. Noted. So yeah. So all those things. I will say one thing, though. I do have another video for this coming up Friday, which would be on the 18th, which is actually Good Friday here in Canada, so. Let's just say, now when I squeezed into the schedule. Speak of which, I'm gonna speak of scheduling and video and all this stuff. I gotta actually find stuff, because I haven't. I gotta remember where I put it now. I have this, because I've shown a couple people this, like not all the way, but I kind of have this notepad, notebook of like for content creating purposes or for the channel, and I seem to have misplaced it. Because I haven't 'cause I was gone last weekend, and I kind of was doing their stuff this week. Oh, no, I found it. Nice. It's in the same spot I had it. As I've been jotting down some stuff among some other things, you know. Little sheets of paper that I can sketch out some ideas on, or web, or brainstorm, or whatever. Express the ideas out on paper, just to get my thoughts out on a sheet of paper, for example, right? You know, and spread that out and see. And sometimes I'll just actually just write old school pen and paper or pencil sometimes, you know. Just go from there. All right, take care, Uncle Al. Appreciate you dropping me by. Yeah, just some ideas I have sketched out and stuff like that, among some other things. Actually, since I already have it out, I might as well bring it out right now. I even have a sheet that says for vertical video, or quote unquote quick or shorter videos. Right, that kind of thing. You know, I wrote down all these ideas for this first quarter, Q1, Q2, quarter one, quarter two for this year, and I feel like I didn't. Some of them I've done. Like, I have this list of ideas and I've kind of written them down. Some of them I scratched off. Some of them have already been uploaded already. So I want to actually, you know, they're done. You know, once they're public, then I'll cross them out. You know, such as the resource hall. Yes, I am bringing it back. Originally, I wasn't putting it for this month, but let's just say I rescheduled it for next month still. It's not seasonally dependent, so I'm like, I'll put it for next month at the moment. There's some other things I have in the works here. Some of these projects I do are like, you're seasonally dependent. Well, when I say projects, I mean videos too, honestly. When some of them are not seasonally dependent, or some of them are, so like I have to factor that in. That's why lately more and more I feel like the scheduling has helped me do a lot more. Like I've said before, the scheduling of the videos isn't for your viewers. Because frankly, you know, your viewers don't know what you schedule unless you tell them, like I am right now, for example. But it's to help the content creator or the host or the channel itself, right? So just like in preparedness, you have a buffer zone of resources, supplies, and obviously skill, knowledge, and experience to back that up. You know, having a buffer zone of videos allows me to do other things or allocate my time differently, or still be able to go out for a weekend or go out camping for a week or whatever. Yet still have some content. Yeah, and still have the time available to, you know, do the content creation part. No matter how quick it is, you know, regardless if it's a point shoot upload, you know, still have to put a title in there. We still have to put some sort of title, some sort of description, some sort of hashtag, some sort of tags, you know. You know, is it gonna be people on blogs, or is it gonna be educational or entertainment? You know, that kind of thing. Still, I gotta fill that in and all that stuff. And of course, you know, if I'm scheduling, then I have to be like, okay, when am I want to put this in? You know, so I'll just squeeze it down the road, and just every so often on a weekly or so basis, I'll take a look at the schedule and be like, okay, is this how I want it right now? You know. especially if I start uploading videos onto the channel and scheduling them, I'll have to readjust the scheduling to fit better. Maybe time somewhere better. Stuff like that. I know, sorry, Iron Followers. Hey, Verna. I see you in there. Well, I meant to do a portrait, a landscape 16:9 aspect ratio stream, but I thought I was like looking at it, it's like you starting in portrait. I'm like, dang it, I didn't do it right again. Well, whatever, Angus. I know about the portrait, the vertical, because the swiping thing. Because it's too easy, especially if you're trying to center swipe to see like your battery level or whatever, or changing applications or apps or whatever you're doing, or then back to your home screen, main page, desktop, whatever, right? I know. So yeah, as I work, like I said, as I start to cross off some of these ideas, some of them, some of these ideas, like I said earlier, didn't actually make it this year because they're seasonally dependent and it's way too warm out now for it. So I can't even do them now. So they'll probably have to wait until like the fall or later at the end of the year. We'll see if they come back. And usually what I do as I'm crossing these out, right, like I said, my sheet just says video ideas for 2025 Q1 Q2. Then halfway down this kind of sheet of paper, I have Q3 and Q4, just to get my ideas and see what I have, right? So it's always just like when content creators, for example, some of us that we know, are always looking for ideas for their weekend stream. If he shows up, it'll be funny if he shows up. But probably know who I'm talking about. But I don't. Some people are always looking for ideas, right? So when you have ideas, at least you got something to work on. Regardless if it's for like shorts that are on YouTube or standard long form content 16:9 landscape type of video or live streams, or even just post in general on your text based, image based post and stuff like that. All right. I mean, like right now I'm I have all these videos scheduled and I actually have to come up with some shorts here. I'm kind of running low on it again. But surprisingly, my last one did pretty good for what it was. I was just like, I'm just gonna say this. It'll be the truth, the real reason that I don't have shorts, and it was, like I said in that, I was short on time. Take care, PV. Just hanging out, Verna. Just getting some stuff done while I'm chatting with you folks. And I forgot to turn on the heat for the coffee. I said at the top of the hour, it's like quarter after. Right? I was just like, oh yeah. I just got so tuned into the stream. I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot about my coffee. I just thought of that when I'm like, oh yeah, Verna. Then I'm like, coffee. I'm like, oh, dang it, I forgot. You have 10. Well, at least you got something of Iron Farmers, right? You got some footage, or at least something to start using. Well, another thing I started to do is like there's some people schedule video there's channels out there that'll schedule videos in advance or have this new video Wednesday and Friday, whatever, right? I started to do this Friday thing a little bit more consistently, as much as I can, anyways, right? But I also realize there's certain things, events, or occasions, holidays that don't fall on that day, so I always take a look at the timing of those. Like, even I have these sheets of paper. I've shown some other people, but where it says January, February, March, April, May, all the way till the end of the year. And because I'm doing this Friday schedule, basically, how many Fridays are there in that month? So for next month, May, there's actually 5 Fridays for that month. So that means 5 videos, for example, right? This month was 4, and certain little things I try to chime in and try as much as I can. For example here, I already wrote this in advance. Apparently Halloween's out on a Friday this year. So I may chime in something on that. We'll see. For example, right? And the summer solstice is in the 3rd week of June. So, because I've already written this down. So, if I can try to chime in something along the lines of that. Let's say put this stuff away. What am I? No coffee. Yeah, I know. Done some footage for years, but yeah. Let's make sure. Yeah, it's hot. Get my beans out here. Well, my coffee bean. One thing I've been looking for is a grinder. Yeah, a grinder. Not a metal grinder. I'm talking about like for food purposes. I'm looking for something. And not just an electrical one, but a manual one. Or something I could set it up to use, like gears or something like that. I've been thinking about that. That'd be nice. And I could have both options. Something I've been thinking about for a little bit here. Like, I'll tell you guys this. The video I have for next week, I had the footage. I had that footage since like the fall, since October. I had it for so long. Like I actually had to back it up so I could clear some space off the device I'm using, right? I was just like, oh, I don't know what to use this for. It's just like, it's cool and all, and I found a way to make a video out of it. And make it a little bit more entertaining and educational at the same time. So, we'll see how that works out. Some guy. I was like, oh, okay, this will work. As I wait for my water to heat up here. Okay, Iron Fires, okay. So make sure my phone's charging here. So try to get my water ready here for me to use here. Ooh, it's starting to bubble. It's almost ready. The water's almost ready. There we go. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. Hold on a sec. I gotta put my phone down. Grab the water. Okay, Iron Fighters. I saw that comment. Yeah. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Find my coffee filter here. Reusable coffee filter. Put the grounds in there. You know, it's kind of funny. I decided to reuse this glass coffee container. So I was just like, just to put my grounds in there. That I do, let's say the night before, just so I don't have to deal with it in the morning, right? You know, I could just heat up some water and then have it, right? So, put this back. Because I kind of figured it would be a good idea. Let me pour my water. Ooh. The good liquor. The liquid of awesomeness. That's deep for a brief moment here. So while I wait for that here, just to kind of let it steep and all that stuff, I'll probably go grab something here. So another thing I've been working on is actually some organization. You know, especially especially at times when I'm watching certain stuff, right? I'll actually like. For some reason, I find it very while I'm watching certain things, I like to actually do the exact same thing. Not only does it motivate me to actually do it, but because I'm actually watching content that is similar to what I'm physically doing in the real world at the time that I'm watching, it seems like, how do I say this? That I'm actually doing it, right? And not just like putting it on the back burner and all that stuff. It's just like, yeah. Put my book away here. So let me ask you guys, what you guys been up to, you folks out there? You planning to grow something, store something, preserve something, freeze dry something, dehydrate something, water something, create something, have some coffee while you're here with me, because that's what I'm doing right away here is having my coffee. Move my reusable coffee filter. I'll have a sip of this black coffee first. Oh yeah, that's hot. It's really good. I just had like this little tiny drip of it. I just be like, yes. The liquid that I can keep going with. As much as possible. But yeah. Like I said, I've been just working on some stuff. And there's some other things I have in the works. And stuff like that. There's actually this other video I have to watch. I haven't watched it yet. They've released it a couple of days back. Probably back on Thursday or something like that. I'll probably chime in later this week, well, this coming up week, or if not today, is actually I need to work on a version of one or update it. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's time for version 2. Version 2, CR? We haven't even seen version 1. Actually, you've seen the outside of version 1. I've shown it before. Just not the inside of it. I've shown it on camera before, though. Actually, several times. The outside of it. I've just been working on inside of it a lot more. The outside kind of always looks the same. Anyway, I probably only have like what, maybe like 2 things on the outside of it. All the other contents are actually on the inside of it. Yeah, you're going through all your gear for camping, making sure everything works and is clean. Yeah. In a more, it's functional order, right? Because sometimes, we put things away quickly, or not in the greatest way at times, or something like that, or maybe a change of thought process of it. It's like, why did I put it there? I should have put it here, the kind of deal, or something along the line. Oh, why did I do it this way? This way is much better, right? Because as you're learning stuff or acquiring the knowledge and skill, you may adapt that information in terms of the gear, the resources, the supplies, right? And that kind of stuff's always in flux, as they say, always changing, as it should. Yeah. With the power outages, you're using everything. Yeah, inside. Yeah, I got you, Iron Fire Horse. I mean, right now the clouds have moved in a lot more actually. So I'm not getting that full sun that I was getting earlier. So luckily enough, I had the solar lights outside during at least the brighter part of the day. Because now it'll go down from that 2-volt power down to like probably 0.5, 0.2 or something like that. So it's basically trickle charging in now. But at least I got at least a couple hours of full sun on them. So at least it'll help. Hello, Molly. Take care, Joe. Hi, Molly. You have to do a different design to accommodate your big dog. It's gonna be cramped. Yep. She used the CR word in there too. I had to point that out. So yes. But yes, hi Molly. Hopefully you're doing well. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to put something in my coffee. Oh, and I missed it. Yep, you did, Iron Fires. You did indeed. But it's all good. So, let's try to clear some other stuff that I have laying around at times. There is a few things I'm starting to do as the weather cooperates a lot more. Oh, I guess I just used the CR word. Because Mother Nature's cooperating a little bit more, I wouldn't mind some rain, though. A little bit of rain would be nice. But it's definitely not in the forecast. I don't see it in the forecast. Let alone a chance or a probability of precipitation. I definitely don't see that in the forecast, unfortunately. Would have been nice. Would have been nice to get some rainwater. And supplement it in and among some other things. But at least I managed to use some of the There's no water. Now you will see if you haven't already. But I just told you, so now you know. I see. You need more caffeine. 100 hours? Yeah. 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 I got you there. I got you there. I got you there. Yeah. I tried to rearrange some things here. Among some other things. Because one of the things I think it's becoming more apparent as time goes on for me is that the resources, I don't usually say it, but the resources I do have, and for the most part, that most people have, right, take up some space, right? So I'm always trying to, how do I say, organize it, for lack of a better word, slim it down, condense it down, and all this stuff. And use it too, right? There's a reason for them too, right? Unfortunately, I'm not getting rid of a bunch of winter jackets. That's probably gonna be a no-go for me, right? Especially since I can see, pretty cold temperatures here, some snow, or random everything type of precipitation here at times, even freezing rain. Not as much as what they get out east, but it is possible here for me, so I'm just like, yeah, that's probably doing good. That I'm not willing to part with. That's for sure, because I actually have at least 3, just because as the temperature falls and all that stuff, I have something, that I can use when it's really, really cold, and I can use something that's just below freezing. And then, 0 Fahrenheit minus 17 Celsius, somewhere around there. And all the other things that go along with all of that stuff besides the jackets or coats. Sorry. Sorry about that. I dropped something at my hand. Consistent reorganization. Well, I mean, Iron Farmers, the gear, like I said, the gear, the resources, the supplies take up space. Water, for example, takes up room. You can't compress it. Well, not really. You can't really compress it, right? It takes up space, right? It's not like our phase that, you freeze dry and dehydrate something, then you can, it'll become smaller in later, but you can't do that with water. And then there's other little things too that physically take up room, like a container, like a bucket, but you can do something like nest them inside each other when not in use, but if they're in use, they'll take up room. They have stuff in there, for example, resources, supply, stuff like that, like water, for example, and other things that take up room too. So that's definitely one thing I gotta work on a little bit more. Trust me. Trust me when I say that. I mean, there's these other little things that I want to use for projects, but I'm not ready yet. Because I actually want to show them on video, so that means I gotta record it and show the process of it too, right? Because if I wasn't doing it for the sake of doing it for video, I would still be doing it anyways, because, it's still a project I want to do. But if I wasn't doing it for video, then I probably would have started already, or started it, the process of it. But since I want to show it on video, I actually have to show the beginning. Because there's a certain degree that if you only have one of it, you can't undo it, right? I can't undo what I'm doing in the real world as easily as, hitting undo or unsend or anything like that in the virtual environment. And I can't do that. So I actually have to set it up in a certain way. Among some other things, actually. speak of air face, there's definitely one thing I gotta pull out. Because I actually have to make sure I have it later. It does, I used to use the water at the camp, but had to boil it. That cost way more in money and time than just bringing it with me. Yeah, I got you. Iron Forest, yeah. Alright. And the hassle of it too, right? Stuff like that. Hey. Even if you had a filter or purifier or anything along the lines of that, you still probably want to heat it up if you want to have nice hot coffee, right? So, I mean, like, if you want hot coffee, yeah, you might be able to use solar for them to a certain degree, but, you know, you still gotta wait for it. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Like I said earlier, it takes up space. You know, no matter how much space you have, you know, something like that takes up a lot of room. You know, obviously, if you're living in a smaller place, tiny house, apartment, or whatever, you know, you allocate as much as you can, or how do I say, do what you can, right? Do what you can as much as possible. Speak of which, I'm gonna move some stuff. Yeah, I definitely gotta move some stuff around. Put my phone. I got 15% back. I'll work with that for a little bit. But yeah. Just some, you know, there is, outside of this gardening season, outside of this spring, summer for this year, I have other projects or things I want to either take up, start, or start the process of, or learn about right now. I mentioned it on my last live stream, a few of them, right? Because I keep looking at it and just like, it may allow me to use the resources I already have, right? Which means I can put stuff back into useful state a little bit more, and just quote unquote gathering it around or letting it collect dust. But you know, I've made a prototype version that some people have seen. I've sneak peeked it to a few channel followers, my followers here on the channel and stuff like that, and I was just like, so. Because instead of just, oh, hey, I'm just gonna watch a video and I'll know what to do, I'll take it the next step and actually do it, right? And see, did I actually remember what to do? Right? And how many times did I screw it up? Or make a mistake, or oops, I was supposed to go that way, not this way, kind of deal, right? So, it just came to mind, and I, like, literally, after watching some video, like, I watched some videos beforehand, but, like, on the day that I started this, I actually made a version of it. It's kind of cool. Because especially since I can see it three-dimensionally in my hands, right? See it, touch it, sense it, sensory perception of it a little bit more. I was just like, you know, it just made me think about some other ideas that I can adapt this to. So yeah. Doing it makes it real, and then you're not practicing when a real situation comes up. Yeah, well, at least you got more to work with, right? Yeah, water's heavy. Run two big storage I could barely lift them with one full. So I get the smaller ones. Live and learn. I was about to say live and learn. I'm like, oh wait. because I'm on live right now while I'm doing this right now. I was just like, that's all I thought of. I was like, live and learn. Oh, live. Right. I guess it's all in the context of the conversation, right? As I rinse this container out. see if I can actually reuse it. Let's see. But I have to rinse it out first because it's got stuff in it. I'm just letting it sit in some precipitation water. Because technically I can't call it rainwater. Because it wasn't rain originally. Oh no, it actually was. Yeah, actually it was. Never mind. Disregard what I just said. I wasn't thinking. I'm like, oh yeah. Yeah, and it's... Yeah. Hey, Double Dog, what's up, man? Let me just highlight that comment on the screen. Double Dog's in the house with me. Woo woo. Okay, I already forgot. For one ear out there. But yeah. How's it going, Double Dog? Hopefully you're doing well. As I enjoy my coffee here. Oh yeah, that's good coffee. I'll show you guys something. Hold on. Just had to go get something. It's going, just doing the things. Yeah. Just keep doing the things, right? Enjoy life, but keep doing the things. Woo! I'm getting some more sun again. Nice. Some sunny breaks. So, my solar lights will actually charge even better now. From that 0.2 volt or half a volt to all the way back up to probably 1.5 to 2 volts. I know this because I've checked with a multimeter. I've actually checked to see how much voltage was actually originally coming in. A little bit of sunny breaks. You know? Strong enough that I could see a shadow. Could be iffy for solar ignition, but I could at least see the shadow. I'll show you guys something. I guess I'm an hour in. As I open the door here. Yeah. I'll just put it right here. Whatever. Look, everyone. Look. You see what I see? Hey, Double Dog, I think this will explain it. I think this will say it all. Yep. And I'll just leave that be. I'll just leave that be. Now, if I remember how to do this. Oh, there we go. It's kind of funny how he asked that before without even knowing. And yeah, like I said, there's some shadows, right? You can see some shadows. There's some sunny breaks right now, so I don't mind that. Yeah, exactly. Double talk, exactly. Now I got my silver lights over here. Although today it looks like there's increased cloudiness, so I'm probably not gonna be able to fully get a full, powerful charge, but at least I'll get something. I've actually been using them. I mean, especially since it's sunny, right? I know. I mean, what's the point of... I mean, I've had these solar lights for like coming up to a year and a half. Well, it will be in August. It'll be 2. Yeah. It'll be 2. So they've come in real handy, not just for area lighting, but for other things, and being able to do some other things with it. I can't wait. I gotta put this somewhere else. A full strip of sod and whipped it around like it was a bear. Part of it ended up in the tree. Sure, I have work cut out for me there. Was that supposed to be a joke too? First, I like you actually used the word cut out, because it was like, well, it wasn't cut out, but it was more like ripped out. But I don't know, I just saw that. Well, at least I'll get a little bit cloud. Birds are in the tree line. I can hear them. Can't see it though. I remember when it was originally starting to warm up, I just started hearing the birds in the morning, especially in the morning. At times they were so loud. I was just like I was talking to someone. They're like, "Hey, CR," I'm like, "Yeah." Can you go somewhere else? Why? Because the birds are too loud. I can't hear you over them. I'm like, what? Really? I'm joking, by the way, but it almost seemed like that. Yeah, I got you. Iron Force, yeah. But yeah. Sit out here and enjoy some sun for a little bit here. I did manage to go for a walk a few days ago. Nothing too spectacular or anything like that, but just something I did. I gotta schedule some time to do another walking video. Preferably on a day that's kind of more sunny out. No, because one of the things I would have to do is like bring my tripod if I didn't do this, just so I can have the walking sequences and all that stuff. So that was kind of fun. Yeah, when I do, anytime you see me walking towards or walking away from the camera, remember the extra steps I have to take for that. Because usually I'm like walking away, then I got come back and pick up the camera, right? Pick up the tripod and stuff like that, set that up. Well, we'll see when I do it. Maybe by the time I do it, maybe more leaves will show up on the trees. I haven't seen much in terms of leaves, like budding leaves on the trees. Still a little early for that, but there's other things that are sprouting out there. I know there is, because I've already seen it. I've already seen it for myself. What's up, Tuck? I see you in there. Let me just highlight that on the screen. Good afternoon, good afternoon. Oh, hold on a sec. Alright. So, yeah. It's nice to see you, Tuck. Hope you're doing well. I wonder what this does. No. Yay, Tuck's here, Tuck's here. Woo! I forgot I could do this. Oh, and don't forget to comment. I'll figure I'd run with that. I haven't used that much. If I ever see you got one. Yeah. Yeah, it is at times, but it makes it a little bit different. It's not always a first person point of view. It's kind of, over the shoulder or a third person point of view of it. You get to see some other things. The reason I originally started to do that was to at times be like, oh, by the way, there is something on my back, or whatever, right? Showing stuff like that. You're pacing with your weighted vest? Really? That's what you're doing? What the fuck? Hey, one time I've walked around with a backpack on my back. Actually, there is this one time I actually did cut the grass. I did cut grass, like mow the grass, like a lawnmower with a backpack, just for fun. Just for fun. Among some other things, I haven't done it for a little bit now. Maybe I should do it again. Although, usually I'll bring something here when I'm going out for a walk anyways. So it just depends what I'm doing. Or where I'm going and how far and all that stuff and stuff like that. Probably the heaviest thing is probably going to be water. in something like that. For the most part. Unless I plan to do something more. And stuff like that. Bring my canteen, my metal water bottle of water. Fill it up and just, hit the road. Or the path, in this case. Man, you've been working on your bob? You have bad legs, so grateful for not being, yeah, cool. Well, both of you are doing a little bit more, right? A little bit more, the best that you can, right? For what it is, right? I know sometimes when I'm going to places or whatever, right? I gotta make the travel, right? So, stuff like that I always gotta remember. I mean, if you're hauling around water, I guess, for gardening purposes, maybe, you can get 2 birds with 1 stone. Gotta work out and garden at the same time. Gotta carry that around that heavy watering can. Hey, technically, yeah, because you're lifting weight, right? You gotta use some more energy. In comparison, if you get nothing on you or nothing in your hands, right? Nothing weighing you down and stuff like that. It could happen. Well, yeah, that's cool. Oh, man. I'm glad I charged my phone more. Oh, getting some more sunny breaks again. So at least my solar I charge a little bit more. Hopefully they're in that 1.1 volt range already. Hopefully, if not over 1 at least. Where I have at least some usable power. So I'm hoping that at least these solar lights to get them, have them still going for the rest of this decade, for the next 5 years. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. That'd be well worth the cost initially, you know. And when I say have them working, I mean, like, you know, obviously both parts of, well, actually, the more important parts. The solar panel on them, the LED light, and said power supply, or rechargeable battery in this case, right? We'll see. So, we'll see how long it's been. It's already been 2, or coming up to 2 years, so. And they're still going. I've actually found ways to adapt them in, so. Like in a power outage or something like that, blackout or a lights out scenario, oh yeah, I have options for these. I've set up in advance. So I have them. Okay. Because I probably dip into those first. I don't actually see myself dipping into candles first. I'd probably dip into the solar lights first. Actually, I probably would. I can almost guarantee that I would dip into that first. Right? Depending on the situation and stuff like that. Because providing that the sun comes back, or I randomly get some sunny breaks like I am right now, I can, you know, top them back off, recharge them, quote unquote. Oh, look at this! Second star! What's up, Matt? How's it going, man? Yeah. I hear you there, Tuck. Let's see. More duct tape than plastic. Well, it's still good. It still works. Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Iron Fire Horse, yeah. That's the way to do it, man. Just go from there. What up? Virtual fist bump to you, man. Say hi to the wife for me. You know, since Second Star's here, I will mention something. Just like how your wife did these random put together makeup backpack thing, I've been thinking about that, by the way. I've been thinking about that to a certain degree. I have an example that I can use for it. I've had it for a bit. I just haven't found the time to actually step into it. I mean, I've sort of more or less planned it, but I mean, like, I think I've been gathering the resources to actually put it together. Something I actually want to try out and see. Let's just say, depending how it goes, depending how it wears, I mean, like, actually wearing it, not wear as in wear it down, but depending how it goes, you know, might be able to use it, alright? That's the idea, right? To bring it back into useful state for me. Because it's in, not the greatest condition, but it's not in the worst condition, right? So I want to see if I can bring it back. It's just actually something I got for free anyway, so, you know, I didn't pay anything for it anyways, right? And if I can recover the resource, or at least put it back into a useful state, more or less, maybe worth it. And, you know, it's right up on my alley on this channel, right? You know, I reuse stuff, I make stuff, and stuff like that, right? Put things together. So, I figured, yeah, you know, I just have it stored in a box right now. I just put it on the back burner for the last little bit. We'll see if I can find some time to doing it. If not this year or this summer or whatever, right? Maybe I'll work on it over the winter. There's one of my projects that I could do over the winter time and stuff like that. Oh, thanks. I see that. Yeah, exactly. Iron Forest, right? If I can, why not, right? Far to, you know. Maybe I'll dig it out later today and take a look again. Maybe see something that I didn't notice before, or since I've learned some more things or acquire some more skill or whatever, right? See if I can, what can I do now in comparison to when I originally got it, all right? Because I may have some better supplies or resources I can dip into now because I've acquired them ever since acquiring this resource to start with. Yeah, I got you there. Second screen. Make sure my phone's charging. I gotta top it back off. Down to 48. But yeah. Well, that's why I've been looking at this book, actually. Because I've been thinking, I'm actually surprised with what it says in here at times. Like right now, actually, the bookmark, which is surprisingly enough, is actually the bookmark about section about packs, rucksacks, and pack frames. It talks about it. I'll read a little bit more. Some of this I know, of course, but I'll still read it. There's some diagrams in this. It says side pockets include water bottle, down jacket, rain jacket, first aid bag. So, that's usually what I do. I'll have a side pocket for my first aid kit. If it's not in the top of the main compartment or something like that. Just looking at this. The next page over, it says water bottle, etc. inside pocket. That's what it says. There's another section that says personalize your pack. All right. And stuff like that. Morale patches or something like that. Here's another section. Don't need versus need to have. Carapacks and all that stuff. I'll read it a little bit later. I just speed read for that real quick. Well, I guess on the bright side of things, right, Iron Farmers? And that's another reason why I actually do have a reason for why I want to set this up. It's not only for the channel, but perhaps use it. Perhaps, actually, that is the reason, so I can actually use it. Let's just say I saw the person that originally owned it. So, I don't see. I can't talk to them ever again because I only met them once and I never exchanged like a number or anything like that, but I did talk to them briefly. So, we're not. I think they said they used it while they were biking or hiking, one of the two. Clearly, right? When you see it later, you'll be like, oh yeah. It's definitely no day-to-day, everyday carry type of bag. But then again, I've seen people with a larger backpack carry their groceries back, right? Because they're walking, for example, right? And it's a little bit easier to probably have your groceries in your back versus having your hands full with a bag, for example, right? I don't know what exactly. Well, you guys saw this when I was at a grocery store. I just saw that, right? I was like, see, so that's probably a little bit easier than just carrying around handles in your hands and stuff like that, right? Because when you have stuff in your hands like that, your hands are full, which means you can't bring out your phone. You can't do certain little things, for example, right? If you want to have a sip of water, you gotta stop, put the bags down, and have your sip of water, right? And stuff like that. Okay, Tuck. You get a variety of them, but if you actually have to leave, then you'll take the smallest one with the prayer books and kill, and painkiller. Yeah, I got you there. Okay, Iron Bars, yeah, I got you on that one. So yeah, I mean, one of these, I got a bag right here. You know, it's made a couple of trips with me. You know, I haven't used every last item in it. You know, you know, because sometimes it's just like, well, it's just a garbage bag, right? Like, I've messed around with tarps and stuff before, so you know, not too much of a stretch in terms of using it. Like the water bottle, yeah, I've used it. I've drank out of it, right? At least, right? You know, later is still later. You know, the cordage, you know, maybe I haven't used it extensively, but I do realize the knots are kind of useful skill and knowledge to have with said cordage, right? I've even tried to pick up a new hitch. So I've been hitchhiking. I'm just kidding. Okay, that was pretty bad. Never mind. Forget what I said. Disregard what I just said. Sierra was totally not on the right space on that. It sounded funnier in my head, but no. You know, air knots. You know, from a simple slip knot to like some friction based hold what do they call it, hold and release or grab and release or something like that, you know, like the taut line hitch and stuff like that. Although I do use that, I've seen some benefits on it. I've actually adapted some of it to some other things. Surprisingly enough, because it always reminds me of like a reusable zip tie. It always reminds me of it. Because virtually anything you could do with a reusable zip tie, you could only probably do it with a taut line hitch to a certain degree. To a certain degree, right? Because it has very similar characteristics in terms of being able to tie in, yet undo, and be able to be, quote unquote, be reusable, for example, right? Ah, there we go. Take care, Iron Fire Horse. Appreciate you taking the time to drop in. As I drop some more coffee into me. But yeah. Start working on a few things here, actually. I'm kind of more inclined to doing some stuff now. See, another thing is why I mention certain little things is because then I gotta be accountable for it, right? As much as I can, right? If I say I'm gonna do something, oh, I've said it on a live stream or in a video, you know, I can't, I gotta do it now. I can't just be yes people, you know, stuff like that. As much as, you know what I mean. So, as I took a look, stuff I gotta deal with, organize amongst some other things. Oh. Maybe I should check on this bottle. It's spare one I have. It's green. No, it's got no smell, and I don't see anything on the inside, so it should be good. Yeah. My green water bottle here. It's metal. Sorry. I should have remembered how squeaky it is when I'm actually screwing the lid back or a cap back on. Yeah. It's just something I have. I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys why not. See? It's got my own little things on here that I've done. See ya, I'm photos. You like the color on photos? Yeah. Green with envy. They have metal zip ties. I didn't realize that. I didn't realize they had metal ones. But I mean, like, I guess there's no surprise there, really. I just wasn't familiar with it. Also, everyone's just familiar with those disposable, standard black, white, sometimes colored plastic zip ties. Bungie, yeah. Nice tuck, nice. Oh, yeah, you create green. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. Some metal ones. That'd be interesting. It would probably have its own characteristic. Probably a little bit heavier, probably a little bit more heavy duty. Probably can't cut them as easily, or whatever, right? So, they would have their own characteristics. Because there has been one time when I was out in like minus 30 Celsius, minus 22 Fahrenheit, where I actually broke a zip tie in the cold. Because it was so cold outside, I just like, did it just break? I might have stepped on it when I put my bag down too, but I was just like, it was so cold that it just shattered. Well, it didn't shatter, but I think it's because I stepped on it when I put my bag down. I was just like, and I just stepped on this one spot, and I was just like, then I look, I'm like, why is it not holding? I'm like, oh, really? Because I just look and it was like a clean break, right? It wasn't because of, like, it looked like it was just like, not even, it was like cut cleanly. It just like snapped, right? That one spot. I'm just like, and it was close to the hinge part, so I couldn't really reuse the zip tie because it was way too short, right? Because I lost too much of the tail of it, right? I didn't have much tail left over. But that story will be for another day when I tell more tales. Yeah, although they might be able to handle a little bit more heat though, so I guess that might be interesting. I'll have to look that up. I didn't really. I mean, like I said, there's probably no surprise, but I just didn't realize that they were out there. No surprise that it exists, but sometimes I'm just like, you guys show me the way, or at least show me something I haven't noticed before, right? As I check on some stuff, let's see. Not yet. Light still works. I'm actually surprised. I've had this light for a while. It's only on another bag that I don't use that light unless I really desperately need to. It's just like, it still goes. So, and I've had it for a while, actually, technically. So, it's just one of those things I have. Now that I'm talking about it, I feel more and more inclined to want to do something. More and more inclined. When I think, maybe it'll motivate me to want to clean or organize some more. I'd be like, oh, I want to do this now, right? I need some space. I need to make some room or whatever, right? I better start organizing it so I can actually have the space and room and doing it and all that stuff, right? As much as I can. Yeah, okay, I see. I haven't used them for repair or something like that, but I have used them in the past for other things. So, because generally, generally speaking, you know, depending what it is, I'll generally use cordage. Because sometimes I just need a temporary fix or temporary binding or hold until I can get back somewhere, like home or whatever, or camp or whatever, you know, a building or inside, or where I can actually doing it, you know. And I'm trying to make a repair in the middle of the road, on the side of the road, bro. You know, I wanted doing it like that, right? So I just need something to temporarily hold it together, or bind it, or draw tie it, or combine it, or attach it together, or whatever, right? Depending on what I'm doing. Oh yeah, that's good coffee. Oh, let me say that again. That's good coffee. Yeah. So yeah. Yep. I guess I got my work cut out for me today, but whatever. I'll just kind of make progress at it as much as possible. I'll take a look. Now it'd be nice, you know. Obviously, a video. Obviously, this live stream is gonna be a video later, you know, on the replay. Shout out to the replay again, everyone watching, not only right now while this is live, but later on in the post-stream replay, right? You know, so you can all pause and be like, We'll see if someone actually picks that up. One person will pick it up. But yeah. So I think I'll probably try to make another video today. I've been kind of slacking on making the videos in the last couple of weeks. It's not that I haven't, but it's just that I've been doing some other things. Like actually over the last weekend, I was gone all weekend. You didn't actually no one really heard from me. It's just kind of busy. As I say, I actually was visiting someone. But on the bright side of something, right? I made a video out of nowhere. Or at least it dropped in my lap. It was easy. Like literally I put the video, recorded it, edited the content, added some things or whatever, made a description, uploaded it, and made a thumbnail with it. Probably within a span of a couple hours, right? So you won't see that anytime soon. That video, because it's not seasonally dependent, so I can show that pretty much whenever during the year. Whenever I don't have a video for that week, it'll be there, kind of deal. Because right now it's scheduled for like next month, for May at the moment. I see, Tuck, yeah. You know, I'll show you guys something. Something I've been working on too. It's because sometimes I have these odd and end. I'll show you guys. Just because I'm talking about this. Oh, no, not this. Yeah, just because you're talking about this. I'm working on this, like, kind of, these little tiny ones or whatever, right? Also, yeah, I get some longer ones, different variety, lengths, quality, colors, and all that stuff, right? You know, and stuff like that. Because sometimes these can be useful. Sometimes I just need a really short one, right? Alright, so I can dip into something like this, for example, right away. You know, something that I don't need to use a full-size zip tie for, or a cable tie for. So I'll dip into that. I've just been putting it into a box and organizing it as much as I can. Speak of which, by like size, for example, right? So some of the shorter ones I'll put to the side and go from there. Actually, I think I'll work on these a little bit more. Get them going, getting that a little bit better. Because some of these are just odds and ends, or like, you know, sometimes when you get certain little things, they're zip tied into the packaging, you know, obviously to prevent, not theft, but like, insert word that I can't think of right now, but I should know it. But, you know, stuff like that. And it's just like, so I'll cut them in a certain way so I can reuse them to a certain degree, right? You know, honestly, it'll hold whatever it can hold, right? And obviously, quality is different, you know, but I figure I try to reuse these as much as I can. Try to. I gotta work on a different system, though, to kind of, because some of them are because they've been quote unquote used, right? They hold in this loop, right? So some of them are like curled, right? They're not in that standard when you initially get zip ties or cable ties like these, where they're straight, right? Because obviously these have been used to bind something or to zip tie something together, right? So they're that memory effect of the plastics. So I gotta work on the system to kind of straighten them out. That way they actually like stand in the box that I'm have them in. Cool. I'm kind of hooked on what you're saying there, Tuck. Thanks for filling us in keeping us in the loop. See what I did there? But yeah, some of these smaller ones, I'm just like thinking like, oh, what can I do? I think I do have an idea, but I'll have to work at it. I'll do that in a little bit. Because sometimes, like I said, I just need like a small zip tie just to go around something, but instead of using a fresh one, we'll use one of the smaller ones first. That way it can be used as much as possible. You like that tuck? You like how I tucked that in? Yeah, I know I just said that. Yeah, see, I have the zip tie here that says remove after purchase. Like, it literally says that. Remove after purchase, right? So I was like, yeah. Actually, I think I'll hold on to this just because it's different. Because instead of cutting it by where the quote-unquote mechanism or the clasp is on the zip tie, I kind of do it outside of it so I can pull the rest of the tail in and yet still have a usable length of the zip tie. And I just do that. Because sometimes I need one. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes I need one for what I'm using it for. You know, stuff like that. I mean, I've had zip ties that are like 1 inch long, and I've been able to reuse them for certain little things, right? And just like, well, that's probably better use than anything else, so I'll use it for that, right? For example, and I'll use a pair of pliers or something like that to kind of, I was gonna say draw tie it together, but, you know, tighten it, for example. That's 50, man. Yeah, okay. I got what you said there. No, but some of this stuff are just like, I'm just trying to reorganize. I have some herbal thing. You know, I have a little bag of like actual zip ties that haven't been used, but I figured I'll use these other ones first whenever possible. You know, that's why they're separate. So I can use these right away or whatever, right? Depending on what I'm doing, you know. Because if I'm using a trellis or something like that, sometimes I'll tie it together versus using a zip tie. It just depends what I'm doing, right? Or how long I want to keep it there for, or whatever, right? Because I have some other things I've been working on into reusing a different kind of cordage. I wouldn't say different, but it is technically cordage, technically, because you could tie with it, tie, bind, do certain knots or hitches with it, but something you may not really consider at first. But I've been trying it out, and I'll try it again this year. Because actually, I did use it for the sunflower. I actually did use it for one of my sunflowers last year to help support it against a stick. Like, I had this one sunflower that was like the flower head was 2 feet away from the stalk or from the roots in terms of horizontal distance. I was just like, it started to look more like an arch. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely archy, all right, for what it was. So I had to secure it just to make sure that it wouldn't actually snap it, because it was in the wind and all that stuff, right? So it's just like making sure. So I was just like, yeah. So I used some cordage to kind of bind it together, make it a little bit more flexible. No, not flexible. Or is it the word rigid I'm looking for? One of the two words. Yeah, it is cordage, yeah. That's why I was just like, just doing it, right? Just. So I'll probably go till the 2 hour mark on the time of the stream. So another 15 minutes, give or take. Because I probably should actually do stuff and not just say that I'm going to do stuff. I probably should actually try to do stuff as much as possible. And besides, coffee's helping. To a certain degree. As I tried to reorganize some stuff, but I need to actually sort through it. Because that's another thing I've noticed more and more about the resources. Is just like, see, generally in preparedness, generally speaking, all right, people have certain things. That, of course, yeah, the skills and knowledge and experience to back it up, but there's still physical resources. Food and water to come to mind, right? Also, the water takes some room, right? The equipment takes some room, right? Like shovels I have for the wintertime, yeah, they take up room, right? They take up some space, right? But I also realized something just dropped in our room, surprisingly enough. I don't know how that happened, but because they take up room, take up space, I actually have to sort through them as much as I can. And try to get them into a useful state. If I can't use them myself, I'll try to get it to someone else that can use it, right? Or something like that. Or I kind of, and minimize some waste as much as possible for what it is, right? I'm trying to creatively think of ways to use them. Try to, at least, right? No. I'll say this. I'm no minimalist, but I'm no maximalist either, right? I'm kind of in the middle there, alright? So, if it's between 1 and 10, I'd probably be on like 5.56, right? I could still see the ground, but I still have stuff on the shelves, kind of deal, right? I still have room, but I gotta make sure whatever I'm doing has to be somewhat organized to a certain degree, or at least grouped together a little bit more, and kind of updating the stuff as the best that I can, right, with what I have, right? Because sometimes you won't be able to just buy your way out. Sometimes you gotta make do or find or create it, right? So, hey, Vanessa's here. Oh. Hi, Vanessa. Vanessa's here. Hi, Vanessa. Kitty. Nice to see you. Yeah, yeah. Good afternoon, Vanessa. Nice to see you there. So yeah, like I said, I'm just working on this kind of stuff, like some other things. And this air cooler today, I'm gonna try it again this year. I want to see it again. See, because last year I got some good results out of it, but like actually in the win. But we'll see. We'll see. But just something a different way of using some of this stuff. But that's why I'll probably shoot when I'll probably record some either record some video or shoot some take some pictures. Take some pictures of it, and then I'll see. We'll see how much I use it for. Because I actually want to show you, if I show you guys this video, I want to actually show me kind of using it too as much as possible, or at least an example of it being used, not just, oh, here it is, and you don't actually see it used for something, right? As much as possible. And it's not just going to be like, oh, I just put it on there, I'm taking it off after the video. No, I'm actually using it to put it there to secure it, or quote unquote tie it or bind it together, because I actually have to for a reason, right? Just like how I did it with a sunflower last year for it, among some other things. So I'm gonna try it again and see. Oh, I'm glad you're feeling better for this. Huh? Hey, whatever works, Vanessa. Right? Whatever works for you on that. Whatever works for you on that. Let me enjoy some of this coffee here. No, knowing me, I'll probably, after the stream's done and all that stuff, I'll probably really get into more seriously doing some stuff. Probably put on some more morale boosting music and stuff like that. Get sucked up for it and just get into the groove of it and just keep doing it, and maybe the ideas, the results will come together. All right, I'll be like, out of nowhere, I'll be like, oh yeah, that could work, or something like that, like an epiphany of an idea or whatever, right? Something like, I always like when that happens, right? Where it's just like an epiphany, right? You're like sudden realization of something, years, where, if someone else saw it, they'd be like, oh, very clever, I'm putting in that CR word or whatever, right? Because sometimes, you gotta use what you got as much as possible. So, as such, that is what I'm gonna do, or at least try to do. I need to find someone to actually. Well, I guess we're gonna see this thing I've used before for zip ties might work, but I have to actually find an example to use first. Something else I've started to use, and a necessity. Like I said, these zip ties that I've reused from something else, they're already in a curve, right? Because they've been pulled together, right? So a memory effect of that. So I'm like trying to figure that out. I think I have, but I'll have to find an example to use for this set of zip ties that I have, which may be easier than I think, actually. Yeah, you know what? Why not? Yeah, you do too? Tuck? Nice, nice. Why don't I try this out? Why not? Might work. I have no idea. At least I'll keep it together better. Okay, yeah, this thing actually work better than I think. Oh yeah, this might actually work a lot better than I think. Oh, yeah. You know, the saying, life finds ways to destroy its, that saying came from 30 years ago, then where 90% of the world had knowledge to grow and cook their own food, unlike today. Yes, I would agree with that. No, see, the thing about that, let me highlight that on the screen. The thing about that is that I can't, might be hard to get one from the bottom. Because, yeah, I can tuck it in. Tuck it in. Sorry. Okay, that just worked. But if I can nest it in or whatever. But the thing is, it doesn't let me have access to the bottom of the bottom. And I can't tell how long the zip tie is just by seeing it like that. So I'm trying to go back to what it originally is in terms of straight. Or at least straighter. Because then that way I can actually stack it up. Use the vertical space on it. In like a box, container, whatever I have in it. So I'm gonna try. Gonna try it out. Yeah, this is a good start. Let's see how much I can. Well, at least these can hold at least 5. And it's actually straight. Now. Temporarily, anyway. I've done this before. What? Yeah, that actually might work. Although I need a, I need a taller box. The zip ties are some of them are like long, so I need a longer box, or a taller box to use so I can snack them vertically. Yeah, still be able to pull one out, right, and just be able to see it by size, because I'm sorting it by size. So, oh yeah. We'll use this box. Try this out. Oh yeah, that's helpful. A little bit taller than I would like it, but whatever. I guess I can mess this down a little bit more. They have a zip tie feeder for electricity. It's pretty cheap. Okay. Noted. What's my time at? Oh. 2-minute warning here. I will be out at the 2-hour mark, give or take, more or less. I gotta remember that I gotta say it. And the reason I actually say it is because it gives you guys time to say something at the end and allows me to actually wrap things up. And, and stuff like that. And you realize that I'm actually, like, sliding out soon. I just like doing it. I don't know. Because I don't. You guys that follow me around or see me around, you know I do it now. Just because I just do it. Now, if only I can figure out what to do with these other parts of the zip tie. I think I got an idea. Let's see if this actually works. I haven't tried it like this before, but it might be a way. Actually, I might even make a video at this later on. That's why I'm not showing you guys right now, because I was like, I've done it before for other things, but it's just like, maybe this is actually a better idea than I realized. At least, relatively speaking. Because I actually do this for some of the things I have at times. Like if I have it somewhere else, but now that I think about it more, maybe I might make a decent video out of it. Because right now, as I try to do this before the end of the stream here, before I close out here, I probably won't close out right at the 2-hour mark, but more or less at the 2-hour mark. Actually, yeah. This actually might work a lot better than I really anticipated. Oh yeah, this actually might work. And I doing it in a slightly different way than I did it before. Oh, and by the way, I'm reusing something for it too. So actually, this actually might work a lot better than I think. Well, you know what? It actually might work a lot better than I think. Oh yeah, this will definitely work a lot better than I think. I'm just gonna put this last 2 zip ties in there. Because one of the things I'll probably say later on when I shoot the video on this, once I get to it, is that it holds it together quite nicely. Which is... Dave's here? What's up, Dave? I was about to slide out real soon here. So you caught me on a good time, Mr. Knight. Hopefully you're doing well. Let's see if I can actually slide this in here. I guess it would help if I put it the right way. So yes, because oh no, I can't quite fit 6 in there, but I at least can fit 5. So that's a good start. That's a good start. Well, at least it's a little bit more organized. A little bit more. Not perfect yet, but it's doable. You're just keeping busy in between the rains, right? Until you see better, more sun, right? Did I just say the word until? Yeah, I just used the word until. I did, didn't I? But yeah. Now, if only I was about to put this now. Yeah, I guess it'll work. It'll work for now. Alright. Last couple minutes here for me on this stream. So I appreciate everyone dropping by on the stream. Saying what's up on this Sunday with me. My description says TBA. I'll probably just leave it like that. So when people watch it and see the description, TBA, to be announced, yeah. Because I didn't announce it until like the end of the stream, like 2 hours later. So everyone, like always, go out and do something awesome out there. Keep busy. Keep doing the things like some of my followers, subscribers here on the channel are doing, alright? Keep making some progress forward as much as possible, in spite of everything that's going on. In spite of this, that, right? Despair, pain, alright? Use that to motivate you to do even more, right? And push the limits. Well, push that limit, or whatever it is. You know, in your mind, in your body, as much as possible, right? And when you feel like you can't do anymore, you dig deep into your core, and maybe you'll discover something even more. Yes, I just made that rhyme. Isn't that nice? Hopefully you can get something done or accomplished, Tuck. Dave, and everyone else that was here during the live stream on my side chat here. So everyone, I appreciate everyone dropping by, and like always, things are changing out there, but we're gonna do something about it, starting today. If not today, then at least tomorrow, right? And then right now, maybe 5 minutes from now or an hour from now, and keep making progress forward, right? And practice those things. Apply it whenever possible. Apply the knowledge. Apply those knots, those hitches, right? Use that gear. Use those resources, right? Don't just squirrel them away for a rainy day. Yeah, see, I just made that rhyme too. Again, but actually trying to use them too, right? Get the most out of it, right? Because the resources are there, the supplies, the gear is there to help you, us. Well, you know what I mean? Us in general, right? People in general, right? So try to use that stuff as much as possible, right? And reuse them whenever possible, right? As much as you can. Whether it be a container or something like that, as much as you can, right? And trying to keep it organized, so and stuff like that. Keep it together, right, and stuff like that. Don't get overwhelmed, right? Try to go back into one spot to work on it, right? Make progress in one spot first, right? And then multiply that outward and keep making progress in multiple spots and keep raising that bar up as much as possible. The progress of it, right, as much as possible. So that progress bar keeps going inch or centimeter by centimeter. It keeps rising, right? Because eventually something will happen. Eventually, that area or situation will change slightly because you start to put more into it, more effort into it, right? More resources into it, more time into it, and do something about that. And try to help someone out there if you can. All right, everyone. I appreciate it, you all. Until the next live stream for me, take care, and I'll see you all next time, whenever that is. See you, everyone. Thanks, Dave.